Move away from your hometown. It's the best advice I've ever received and the best decision I've ever made. One of the most depressing statistics I've heard is that most people will die within a 5-mile radius of where they were born. Don't get me wrong, there's something beautiful about being content with staying, but never leaving is a mistake. Let me tell you why. You're never really yourself. You grow up highly influenced by the people and the environment around you. Your parents raised you with their views and their way of life. Your town and city has its culture and its norms. Mostly we transform into something that fits into the mold. At some point in our youth, most of us rebel in some form or another, depending on your circumstance. This is just part of the process, and most people revert into what's expected of them from their family, their town, and their peers. You stop exploring, you stop rebelling, you stop the process of being you. A lot of people move away for college or university, and sure, it helps, but you're still stuck with your peers and you are in the expected mode of being. As well as moving away for college or university is usually just for 3, 4, or 5 years, which is a limited time period, which you already have decided that these are the years, and then you move back. Here is where moving and not just on a fixed time horizon comes into play. Imagine this, you can be your full self, whoever that is, with nobody you know judging you, watching you, or talking behind your back. You're basically free. Now, is that the same person as you are now? If it is, that's great, you've gotten so far. If it's not, and you still live in your hometown, you should move right now. Moving gives you the privilege of reinventing yourself or finding yourself. You can be whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to do. You can make new friends who align with the vision of you that you've set in your mind. Now, let me share a personal story. I love my family, but it's not always been easy, and I'm guessing your family dynamic is the same. I lived at home for free while going to school and working and playing football or soccer, wherever you're from. My family is pretty competitive and goal-oriented, and while having your dad as a coach might be cool, it can also be straining on your relationship. So there is a lot of backstory to this, but that's for another time. But me and my dad, we've always talked and shared, and I'd say that my dad is one of my best friends. But just before moving out and moving away, it wasn't the same. We didn't agree on some life decisions, which is natural when you're young and inexperienced, and it strained our relationship. I was also struggling with finding out who I was, who I wanted to be, and what I wanted to do in life. So when the opportunity came, I jumped on it and I didn't even hesitate. I first moved out, working 2 jobs and going to school and playing football. So if you're telling me you can't do it, then you're wrong. Then I got an opportunity for a job and moved across the country. See, not living under the same roof, carving my own path and being myself fixed our relationship. I actually had a talk with my dad and told him that I think our relationship improved after I moved out. There's less expectation, there's less pressure. You're also not draining your parents for cash while you're trying to make sense of life, which is a great plus. You get some distance, you get to try life. You make your own decisions, your own mistakes. You get to reflect on your own reasoning. When I moved across the country, I got to reinvent myself or discover myself. And there was no one around that knew me. Moving away gives you more options, more perspective. It gives you more opportunities. If you can't find someone to date in your hometown, guess what? There's the rest of the world. If you can't find the right job, well, move to a new city and see if you can find it there. I took this to the natural extreme and moved countries. But start small and move to a new city. There's a whole world out there.